we're in a blessed profession. We have, a blessed careers. We get spoiled. We get paid to be here, to travel the country and do everything from our travel to our hotel, everything first class. And we're playing basketball and doing basketball for a living. So I just think it's just a reflection of guys sharing the load and out there having fun with one another. And during different segments of the game, different guys are able to step up and make impacts. And that's what happens. Like with AD, you have a tendency to defer. Or Brian, you have a tendency to defer. But, Thomas, as you mentioned, Russ, Dennis, everybody's stepping up. K-Nut last night, everyone is stepping up and trying to hold their part of the rope and all pull in the same direction.
When LeBron said what he said in Miami about losing and that not being in his DNA, not being good, that can cut a couple different ways for a team. You guys haven't lost since. Is there any correlation, do you think, to the way guys have responded to that loss in Miami and their leader kind of talking that way after the game?
Yeah, no, I think everybody took it in stride, and no one disagreed with that. You know what I'm saying? Everyone wants to make it a story, like LeBron's calling out his teammates, or LeBron's doing this, LeBron's doing that. Like, he's stating facts. And so no one wants to be comfortable with losing or get repetitious with losing or being satisfied. Well, okay, we had great individual performances, but once again, there's another one in the L column. No one wants that. So yeah, it's almost like ringing an alarm. Like, everybody wake up. Wake up. It's time to get over ourselves, buckle down, and compete as a unit on both sides of the ball and do what it takes, man for man, hold ourselves accountable for the group, not for ourselves, but for the group. And we've again been trending in the right direction ever since. And guys, you see guys, their competitive juices and how they sustain their competitiveness throughout the 48-minute game. It's paying dividends, and I think that had a lot to do with it. Him just, like I said, not calling anybody out, but ringing an alarm. Like, we need to be way more competitive than what we are at this current moment, and we've been that these last 5 games.
Darvin, obviously, when LeBron got that bucket with 48 seconds left, fouling out Sabonis, obviously a huge play, but in the larger scope of the fourth quarter, what was the importance of LeBron looking to attack some of those matchups with Sabonis when he was in foul trouble? And in that way, do you see some shades of postseason LeBron emerging to kind of drive your team in the win streak?
Regular season, postseason, preseason, I think is just Bron. You put him on the court in a competitive environment like that, in front of this amazing crowd here in Sacramento. They have a hell of a ball club. Mike is doing it, and his staff, they're doing an excellent job with that team. He's just going to go and play with force and force the defense or somebody and put them in a position, or the officials put them in a position where they got to make a decision. And the beautiful thing about him, he's not going in there to draw a foul per se. He's going to finish. If the foul happens, which it usually does, whether the whistle is blown or not, he doesn't flop, and he's going to finish. And he wants to be a strong presence for our team late in games, early in games, in the middle of games. Whenever he's on the floor, he's trying to make plays for himself or others, and in reverse order for others than himself. So I just think having a guy like him, what he's been able to do over the last 20 years and be here in the heat of it, he thrives for these situations in game, these late game situations with the game hanging in the balance. Like, you can see it in his eyes in the huddles, with his commands, the way he's communicating with the teammates, with the coaches. He thrives for these moments, and he's not by himself. We had a ton of guys that locked in. I mean, Dennis, Russ, Pat Bev, like Thomas, everybody that was out there, Juan, everybody is locked in these moments, and he's right there at the forefront, spearheading that feeling, that competitiveness to get the job done, to finish the job once all zeros are on the clock.
I was a little late getting here, Coach Ham, but I have to ask you about Brian. He had a couple of offensive rebounds, in there that kept, you guys alive, and gave you a 1-point lead. I think it was 126, 125. Just wanted to see if you could, just talk about his effort and him battling down there with Domantas, because we know how much of a monster Domantas is.
Yes, I've seen him go. He's going up against some hellified opponents, man. You talk about Jokic, you talk about Bam, you talk about Sabonis. Like, he's really going toe to toe with a lot of top shelf talent, and just his ability to just sustain himself and, you know, play within himself and make huge plays at the right moments. Just his energy, his running habits in transition offensively, his ability to show his hands and protect the rim, absorb contact, force a missed shot and still come up with the rebound. His touch around the basket from 15 feet, even threes, you know, he's able to knock down 3 balls. So, and, you know, his ability to get in the pocket, roll, you know, catch in traffic and finish in a crowd, like, he's been nothing short of amazing. You know, he's doing a hell of a job filling in for AD, and William Gable as well. But Thomas is, I mean, 29 and 14. We need every bit of all of that. So my hat's off to him. I'm so proud of the kid. He's having a great year. He's going through some injuries in his history, but he's showing the world, like, he not only is he an NBA player, he's a high level NBA player, and we just totally appreciate everything that he's doing for us.
Awesome. Darvin, there was that 4-game losing streak shortly after AD got injured, and then since then you've gotten at least 120, I think, in 5 of the 6 wins. And just wondering, was there any kind of shift in plan or mentality on that end, and having to kind of learn how to play without him? And how much are you still trying to, you know, have the defense be at a certain level? Like, what's that balance been like as you figured out this team for the whatever time?
Yo, it's been interesting, man, because, you know, again, you lose a big factor like that in AD, like, it causes you to, you know, have to regroup and re-situate things, but at the same time, you can't stray too far away from what you've been doing and what you're trying to establish. You know, we just got back, we coached our running habits offensively harder, we coached our spacing harder, we coached guys setting screens and really sticking screens harder, rolling, playing with the pass, and once that pass is made, making quick decisions, whether it's a secondary drive or open shot or a quick swing to an even more open shot. And then defensively, just guys being on the string, everybody being alert and active. You know, you don't have to be a shot blocker to protect the rim. You can be a guy that moves your feet quickly and get over and take a charge. You know, our shifts off the ball, guarding a guy that doesn't have the ball on the weak side, and you shift it in as opposed to being hugged up and leaving a wide open lane for people to drive downhill and attack the basket. So it's just been causing us to coach a little harder and really, again, submerge ourselves in our principles on both sides of the ball.
Thanks, Coach.
It's done.